Okay, so this is my final design now. Done it like Halo, just took a font, made my own type font, so I get loads of marks there. What I need to do now is show you how to transport this, put it onto the very simple things like business cards, letterheads, name badges, etc. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to convert this now. Because of the version I'm using, it's quite difficult to keep exporting into different things, so all I'm going to do is use the select tool, highlighter tool, Control C or copy, click onto PowerPoint. I'm going to save it into PowerPoint. Let me just delete these out of the way. You can see it's come out quite nicely in PowerPoint, so I can paste that straight in. I'm just going to stretch it slightly, move that into the centre, and then I'm going to save that, going to File, save as picture. Picture I'm going to select it as is going to be a PNG file or a JPEG. It's completely up to you. PNG seems to be better. And I'm going to save that into Documents so I know where it is, and I'm going to call it E5. Click on to Save. I'm going to close down PowerPoint now because I don't need that at all. No. And then I'm going to open up Serif Draw Plus, and there we go. And then hopefully if I go to Insert, Picture, from File, I can find the image that I need, click on to Open, and then drag that into this box. Now you could be doing this on any sort of software really, but what you will notice is it's actually pulled in all the attributes, which is what we wanted. Okay, now because that's a drawing, when I click onto it, it now gives me an option of the Cutout Studio, or the Auto Trace, or the Photo Lab. I'm going to select the Cutout Studio on this bit. Now we can see from some things that a lot of that is already cut out, so I'm just going to select the areas I'm going to cut and use my brush. And then hopefully, as I start to cut things out, what I should be able to see is that there's certain images being cut out. It's not working on there, so let's see if we can try it a different way on that bit. Right, now what that's saying is that's all transparent. So, if that is the case, what I need to do is correct that. So, on this point, what I will do is, rather than just have the line drawing, is now in the back, I will actually draw a square going completely over this, and we'll have to do it this way. This isn't a problem, it's okay, we can sort it that way, and I'm going to fill it so it's into these bits as well. Okay, so I'm going to send that to back so the image is on there. I will try and shrink just by zooming in a little bit, try and shrink these so they do fit the box a bit more accurately, so it's just going to help me in a moment. Actually, I'll just pull them slightly wider, and then once I've zoomed out again, I'm just going to use a select tool, and then this time I'm going to export that as another file. So I'm going to go to File, and if we export as image, I'm going to try and use a PNG file the same, PNG, click on to Export, onto there, save it into the same area. I'm actually going to use the same name here, so it'll say yes, just to save a bit of memory and stop it being confused. Delete that. And then hopefully when I insert the next picture in, what it'll allow me to do now is when I click onto the Cutout Studio, is it's slightly different coloured as you can see from there, but it'll now allow me to cut out the bits that I don't need. Now the bits I'm going to cut out are going to actually be the actual lettering and the border, because that's the bits that I don't necessarily want. So on this case, what I will do is select the tool, click into the smaller bit. I can zoom in here, so I will do, just so I can see what I'm doing. And then all I'm going to do is just move it slightly between the points, and what should happen as we start to take quite a bit of the lettering out is the computer will recognise what I try to do, just like that, and take the actual colours from it. Now I'm going to take these bits out as well, just to make it look a bit more structured. Okay, and you'll see why I'm doing this in a second. So I'll do exactly the same. Now this is going to take a while, just to get all the bits accurately as I need them to be. But what it will allow me to do is to make sure that I can insert a different colour behind it. So what I'll do is pause the video while I'm doing this, and then as it's ready, we'll have a look at the next stage. Okay, so we can see we're actually cut out the bits that I need to do from there. So if we just now click onto OK, onto there, it'll remove the background colours, and although it won't look any different initially, if I then drop a block of colour I'm just going to use a very deep blue and then centre back. You can see it has quite an effect on there as well, and with that then I'll just move it into the white background around it, and there you have the logo. I'm just going to leave a little bit at the bottom there to start with, so you can see we've got the logo ready to go into the shop. And as I zoom in, it's a bit blurry, but I can smarten that up a bit, and I can do that using various techniques really, but that pretty much emphasises how we can actually do the background. So any sort of background really you can place in, and it's just spending a bit of time. So these are all preset ones, so you can see the lines around it very, very clear on that one. All sorts really that we've got on there, and you can insert things in yourself from the internet as well. So there's loads of things down there as we've got. Metallic. If we just click on the metallic ones, for example, we can start putting in different sort of shades and that through. Some of these are better than others. There's quite a few to choose from there. That one's not so bad really. Classic ones, such as that one. I'm just going to play around with a few of these. I'm not going to go too much into it. That one looks okay as well. So yeah, there's all sorts we can have on there as well, and this could also be your development, deciding which ones that you actually prefer. I think that's the one for me. Okay, so at that point, what I'm going to do now is save that one as a JPEG. Let me get rid of all the colours from it. So if I go to my trim command, and I'm going to actually trim the image now. This is why I didn't trim it all in the first place, just so I have got some way of cutting back the focus on the image, and then on the background there, all I need to do is shrink that so it fits within the border, or not, as the case may be. Let me zoom in then. It's going to be awkward. There we go. And while I've got that selected, I'll just draw all these elements into where the lines need to be. Don't really want the blue line on there, if I'm honest. There we go. That's a little bit better. That should be fine. Just move that one in a little touch as well. We've still got a bit there that we need to crop already, so if I use my crop tool and just cut that grey line out of it, and then it's that background there that I need to select. What I can do is just move that out of the way really for the time being, and get rid of that. Just push this in a bit, and then that can drag back over the area. And hopefully what we would have done then is got rid of that fuzzy bit around the edge, which we have. Okay, so it's almost. It's one of those things you can just keep playing around with really till we actually get it right. Okay, so I'm quite happy with that. So at that point, all I would do then is just group those together, and as my letterhead, place that, because this is set as an A4 sheet of paper, place my letterhead up at the top, type in an address and phone number, and then away I go. So let me just convert that back to being portrait, letterhead at the top, maybe even put it this side, there we go, and then from that point of view I can start at some sort of general letter down there and print that off, and I've already got my letterhead sorted, and it's as easy as that. So that's the one thing we can do on that part. Next stage, I'll copy this and write this up as I'm doing it into the folder, and we'll have a look at that. And by the time we have a look at the next bit, I would hopefully have used this technique to have done the business card as well as a letterhead, and also a name badge as well.